Welcome to the Throne Room Podcast. I'm your host, the Queen, Marva Nichols, and tonight I have Grambling State University's head football coach, Mickey Joseph, in my virtual studio again, and we'll be right back. Hi, this is the Queen, Marva Nichols, and welcome back to the Throne Room Podcast on MTV Sports Network. And I have the coach, Mickey Joseph from Grambling State University in my virtual studio tonight. Coach, how are you doing?
We're good. We're good. We just had to survive that hurricane, little rain, but we had to switch practice up yesterday. We had to go in the morning to beat the afternoon rain, but they came back today, and so we'll look at practice today and see well they did.
Right. Well, that's good to hear. I was praying for everybody down that way with the hurricane, and it can be difficult trying to shift those practices, and the young men have their classes and all that. So I'm praying all did go well, and that
Yeah.
you see what you were looking for
Hmm.
via reviewing your practice. Now, awesome. So the defense also really set the tone early with two key interceptions. How important was it to establish that defensive pressure and create short fields for the offense?
Well, I thought we came out the game with two interceptions and a fumble recovery for a touchdown. So when you can go +3 in a turnover category, that's pretty good, and that kept us in the game to win the game by the way the defense played. They played a great game against the run. We had some letdowns in the second half. There was some young guys in there, but like I was told, young guys, eventually you're gonna have to be out there for more than 10 plays. So you got to get your mental part down. You got to know what you're doing. Even if you're sitting on the sideline at practice, you got to get mental reps because we have to put you in a game to get game reps. But we're not going to put you in there if you're going to go in there and not do what we ask you to do. We're just not going to put you in there.
Yeah, because a lot of fans were probably thinking like, okay, what is our depth chart like, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
we know in the second half things kind of, you know, went another direction. So
Yes.
I'm glad to hear that you spoke with them about that, and I think they're young, like you said, they're young,
Well,
and
they're high school
supposed
kids,
to come.
so they're
Yeah,
gonna get it. That was some of their first college game, so they're gonna get us moving a little fast for them. But you know what? You got to learn. You got to live and learn, and I think they did.
I think, and walking into the whole playing, amongst all those former G men, for even you, Coach Mickey Joseph, it was a lot, and so we're gonna give them a bye this week, right?
Yeah, we're
We're
gonna
gonna
give
give
them
them
a
a bye,
pass.
but yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
they know the rules. They know the rules around here. We put 11 on the field and we fight like tigers. So they
That's
know
what
the
I
rules.
want to hear.
They know the rules.
They know the rules. And you're very confident about setting the rules, setting the tone. While I was watching the game, you were very intense on the sideline, and you were
Oh,
not only after your players about just silly
penalties.
penalties,
Yeah, and we got to
but
clean
you were
that up.
also advocating for your team as well with the referees. Tell us about that.
Well, I'm just, when they make a questionable call, I am going to question them. I'm going to make sure because I'm not going to stand by and just let you call just anything. So the kids understand that, the coaches understand that, and I'm sure the referees do. But we got to cut out the stupid penalties. I can fix holding, hands to the face, offsides, pass interference. I can fix that. What I can't fix is the personal fouls and unsportsmanlike conduct. And only thing I can do is help you with it. And how I'm going to help them this week. If they get one, I'm taking them out. I'm taking them out, and they're going to come to the sideline or put somebody else in because I'm not going to tolerate bonehead plays that lose games, and we don't want that as a staff. We don't want that as a team. So the ones who do it, they're being selfish, and we're going to make sure that when you're selfish, then we're going to be selfish. I always tell them this: you do stupid things, you get stupid outcomes. So if you do something stupid, I'll do something stupid, and I'll sit you down.
Hey, like I say, you don't hold back, you shoot straight from the hip. And so I know they believe you. And, and so um, You jumped out to a 37-0 lead by halftime. What adjustments, if any, did you make at halftime, and how do you maintain that level of intensity across all four quarters, like moving forward? Because again, I talked about how it seemed like we kind of took our foot off the gas. So at halftime, what was the conversation with the players,
Well,
the G men?
we always talk about the middleweight, the last 4 minutes of the second quarter, the first four of the third quarter. So we talked about coming out and winning. But the first series, they took the ball down 75 yards straight down the defense. They've been playing well. So I have to do a better job. My coaches have to do a better job of getting their focus back and say, okay, this is what we're going to do. We have to look at some of the calls that we were making. If we was making calls, new calls, and wasn't making the same calls from the first half, we got to look at that. We had to look at it as a staff. Where did we go wrong at? They wasn't in position and they gave up some stuff. But some of the things you got to, as a football player, you got to accept responsibility for it, and you got to fix it. But it's up to the coaches also to fix what we need to fix also. So like I told them, there wasn't a very good football team in the second half, and I wasn't a very good head coach in the second half. And then we all got a chance to fix that, and we hopefully we fix it this week.
Well, I really love the way you have accountability as the head coach, in addition to holding your players accountable because you are one, and you guys are accountable to each other, and I
Mhm.
love that about you, and what I've learned so far about you. And so I'm going to go into player development and leadership now.
Yes.
Freshmen like Tony Phillips and CJ Knight had standout moments, including scoring their first career touchdowns. How do you balance developing young talent while ensuring the team remains competitive throughout the season?
Well, I think every room on this team is competitive. I think from the special teams room to the O line, D line, linebackers, running backs, receivers, DBs, quarterbacks, and all those rooms. So if you come to practice and you really don't want to practice and you think you're gonna just lay down and not do anything, you better second you better think twice before you do that, because we'll put the next guy in. And that's what one thing this coaching staff, they're gonna rule with an iron fist, and they're gonna make sure that you do what we ask you to do. But with CJ and Tony, was happy to let them get their first touchdowns. That was big for them. But like I told the coaches, we got to coach them up until kickoff, and we got to coach them all the way back to Grambling so they can get the understanding about how we want things. Some of the stuff still new for them. Remember, they were able to do some things for 2 years that they're not allowed to do now. So if you've been doing something for 2 years and now all of a sudden somebody's coming in telling you that you can't do it, when the pressure hit, you revert back to what you used to. And sometimes they revert back to what they was used to doing, a year ago. So we have to make sure we watch that, and that we soon we see it, we put a clap on it and say, nope, we're not doing it that way.
Got you. Talk about Javon Robinson. He was outstanding as well. He's a sophomore, correct?
Yes. Well,
And he really
Javon's
he's awesome.
he's a explosive player when he gets the ball in his hand. We coach him up, we coach him hard, because he's has such talent. So sometimes some things come natural to him. So what we don't try to do, we try not to coach the athleticism out of him, but we try to make sure we fix his technique. Because I think once he gets on the field, sometimes he just plays on natural ability. So we want him to play with more technique. But he had a great game. He can run, he can catch, and he's dynamic with the ball in his hand. So he won't do anything but just get better throughout the year.
Yeah, the way he cut when he caught the ball, he had that reception, and I thought they were going to tackle him, and then
Yeah,
he cut and went into the end zone. I was like, wow, I would have never thought to do
yeah.
that, but he's a very, very smart player. So kudos to you, Javon. And so I want to talk about Texas A&M Commerce. They
Hmm.
present a different challenge.
Yes.
How do you plan to carry the momentum from this win into a non-conference road game, and what will be the key factors for success against them?
Well, we got to play. We got to play well in all three categories: special teams, offense, and defense. And we can't have missed assignments, and we can't make bonehead plays. We got to play together. We got to play as one. We gotta lean on each other, because at the end of the day, you're in hostile environment. You're in at the somebody's backyard. Just like playing throw up tackle when you were young in backyard. it's hard to beat them in their backyard. This is a well coached football team, a physical football team, a team that's with the Southlands known physical football. So we got our work cut out for us, but we got to come to play, and I'm sure we will. And we got to play well in all three phases.
Yeah, and we're looking forward to you doing that. And I think that we can. From what
Yes,
I could see, I think that we definitely
60
can. I think
minutes.
you have some really, really athletic guys. The G-men are they can do it, and so I'm definitely going to be rooting for my favorite team
Yes,
um, on this coming Saturday. Now we had a couple of injuries. We know that Nason Dickerson and I believe I saw Quentin
Quentin Talley.
Talley.
Yes.
Was he? So can you give us an update on their
But
status?
Sean had surgery yesterday, so he's out of surgery. So he'll be on a 6 to 8 month recovery. We'll work on getting him a medical hardship, so he'll get that year back. So he'll come back healthy, and he'll have 2 years left. And Quentin Talley, he's got to go back for a checkup from the doctor next week and see exactly where he's at. I don't think he needs surgery. So we're gonna see when we can get him back. So, but that's two big losses for us. Just our kid in the back in the defensive backfield that gets everybody lined up, and Deshaun's just a big play guy, and he's come a long way. He was off to a great start.
Yeah, I hated to see that happen. I saw they were actually moving his kneecap. I was like,
Yeah,
oh my God. You can see things differently on television
yeah,
and in the stands. And I did reach out to his mom initially on that night,
yeah.
but hadn't been able to get in contact with them. I know she's taking good care of her
Yeah,
son.
she just left today.
Oh,
She
wow.
went she went back to Georgia today.
Oh, wow. Well, Nason, we are definitely praying for you for a quick recovery and to your mom and my sister. We traveled a little bit together last year because Nason and Miles are really good friends because they're both
Yeah,
from Atlanta, and I know they had big dreams
yes,
together.
yeah,
And so we want to wish you, a speedy recovery. And also, Quentin, I met him well, I already knew him, but I was able to interview him at Swag Media Day, and he was
yes,
so
yeah,
excited about being the leader on the defensive side of everything. And so we want you to get well very, very soon.
we
And
will.
so I want you all to stay healthy this weekend, Coach. I
Yes, we will.
really do. Because we have a lot of SWAC play to go, and we got Jackson State next weekend, and so we have to show up and show out. And I just want to tell you, you're doing a great job, and
Thank you.
we're behind you, all the Grambling fans, and we're just standing by, waiting to continue to see you grow every week. And so, what do you have to say to the Grambling fans that came out? I heard it was a great
Mhm.
crowd, and that the energy was absolutely electrifying.
Well, it was a great crowd. I appreciate everybody coming out. I really appreciate the students. The students came out. They had they were really hyped, and that's what you need. That was a great game atmosphere, and that's what the players in the university, that's what the students, that's what everybody deserved. They have a nice atmosphere. The band was fabulous, and so the kids enjoyed it, and we want to put a better product on the field. We want to play 60 minutes. We only played 20 minutes of football. We made it clear to them. We ever put 60 minutes together, but with that type of support, we have to put 60 minutes together. We appreciate everybody coming out, and we look forward to seeing the next home game.
Oh, wow, and I know that they enjoyed themselves. Most of my colleagues said that they were so exhausted
Yeah,
the game. They said the kids really they said they were amazed at the student, section, and, so I was so glad to hear about, the fans being in the stands because the young men
yes,
work so hard, and then to have empty stands is just not a good feeling. When I was in school, Coach, our side was the other side.
yeah,
All of the side that everybody sits on now, those are season ticket holders, okay?
yeah,
So it's very different than it was when I was in school. But we want our student body to enjoy, like you said, enjoy the game. And so
you know.
you guys made a good show for them, and I think they'll be back next weekend. What do you think?
Yeah, I think there will be. I think we got to take care of this one. Then we'll worry about next week. This week is very important, and we got to get after these people.
Yep, and I want you to come out healthy, and I want you to win. And with that being said, now look, we're heading into week 3 of HBCU football. And remember, every week, my audience, my royal family, will be voting for Coach of the Week of the East and West Division. Grand Fam, where are you? Is Coach Mickey Joseph going to be the coach of week 2? Let's see. You have until Thursday evenings at 11:59 to vote. Let your voice be heard. Vote, vote, vote. And so, with that being said, to all the kings and queens out there, from my throne to yours, continue to inspire greatness and farewell until our next crown session. Thank you for joining the Coach and the Queen. Thank you, Coach Joseph,
I
again for
appreciate
being
you.
on the
Thank you.
Throne
Thank
Room
you very much.
podcast. And you know, I love having you on the show. And I'll talk to you next week.